I got standards. I'm picky.
But no expectations.
No expectations. So I'm not gonna walk into a situation having expectations because then I'm just gonna ruin it for myself. Like what?
But what are your standards based off of?
What you allow yourself to do
Training in the moment. Like
that's why you just have to understand you are.
So
you are
essentially,
the average of the
everybody's an
people
energy
that you are around.
vampire.
Oh yeah, there's the energy vampire.
Yes.
But everybody is an
Okay,
energy
but see,
vampire.
actors are famous for playing people they're not. So like, would you hear all the crazy shit that happens to them and what they do in life? Do they start to forget who they are because they play these different people? How do you feel about relationships? Like, what makes you feel comfortable in a relationship? And it's just not romantic. It's like, in genuine, how do you build relationships with people throughout your life, friends, and like, how do you interact? How do you see yourself interacting with like whoever you interact with on a daily basis that you fuck with?
So yeah, it's about building like a deep, intimate. Doesn't have to be intimate, but like whatever. What does intimacy mean? Intimacy means just being vulnerable, really.
Wow.
Yeah, because you don't have to be sexually intimate.
No, you do not. You don't. And so
I feel that a lot of people get that so confused because they think when you talk about intimacy, you're talking about in that aspect. But you can just have a super genuine, intimate relationship with someone, like you said, and then be vulnerable and sharing, and you guys are completely honest.
yeah, because one, if I want to do business with somebody, hold on, we gotta let the train pass.
Welcome to
But let me see it.
All right, so it's 11:42. I'm having a chill Saturday night bonfire. We got some lovely humans over.
Okay.
To my right, I have my good friend Mike. I've known for years. Go ahead, introduce yourself.
What's good? I'm Mike. I'm a Taurus. I'm a Virgo rising and my Sagittarius moon. And I'm 22.
22. Deuce. Yup. All right. Yeah, that's my guy. You know. It's my bro Namdi. Just got connected this year. Found out he's my neighbor actually.
Absolutely, man. It's a small world, but big energy in this small world. My name's Namdi. I'm a Gemini. I'm just glad to be here. This is a great time.
Yup. And age, for perspective.
Age, 23.
23. Yup.
Yes, sir. Jordan year.
Jordan year.
years this year.
Cool. All right. And my name is Romeo. I'm a Sagittarius. Leo rising and Virgo moon. And I'm 22. Deuce.
All right. All right. So back to the conversation. Loud ass train interrupted. So we were with. So this is
Sorry.
So all right. So relationships. It's good to be mindful in our relationships when it comes to being like one. If you want to grow with somebody, like I was saying, like for example, if I'm gonna do business with somebody, there's certain qualities that they have to have, you know. But I have to have those qualities of having emotional intelligence because somebody's not always gonna tell you, how they feel, like you gotta be able to pick up on it sometimes.
Emotional intelligence is
You gotta have that.
it's hard to fuck with somebody who don't.
Yeah.
It is very
Like if you don't know,
It's also like
if
a
you
challenge.
don't understand me on that emotional aspect, or you don't even understand yourself, on that emotional aspect, you really shouldn't be bringing nobody else in your life.
But I think it's also like a risky challenge that you need to embark on in
Yeah.
order to actually progress through your life, because you will never be able
That's
to
real.
gain. You'll never really be able to gain any type of perspective if you don't take that big risk of getting into a relationship with somebody
That's
you don't
true.
know. You don't. There's just absolutely no way you're gonna know somebody right off top. You're gonna have to learn them, and you might learn that they have low emotional intelligence. But you can help build that person up if you actually care about them, like you did from the gym.
And again, this relationship, it doesn't have to be that type of relationship. Like you can have a deep, intimate relationship with your parents, with your siblings, with your best friend, or with an animal, really.
Yeah, I gotta deep into
With your pet.
my dog.
And you kind of do, like,
With
you don't
your
really
pet.
think about it, but you kind of do, like,
Oh yeah.
every time you call up your homegirl or whatever, be like, oh, this happened to me. That's something very deep and personal to you that you're willing to share with somebody who's close to you, right?
Yeah.
That's you have
But
small
then again-
you have small intimate relationship communications with people, but
And then you got people that
So
are
why
too
is
open.
that like downplayed? I feel like now.
having
I think
communication.
You know what
I
I
think
mean?
We numb ourselves, really.
I think it's downplayed because people aren't meant to express themselves how they are within themselves anymore. Because like
'Cause they gotta put on a
everything's an
mask and act fake.
idea, everything's like social media.
It's a
Damn.
false dopamine rush that you get like from any notification really on social media. And it's like, what are you looking for approval for outside of yourself for from all these other people? Like they don't know your life really when it
Yeah.
comes down to it. It's like that's why like when somebody asks for relationship advice, like you can't. At the end of the day, it's up to you because that person that you may be getting advice from doesn't have that same perspective of you. But it is good to take advice.
It's good to take people's advices just to build a template for yourself,
Yeah.
just so you kind of know how to move a little bit, because that's just how human beings progress, is by taking knowledge from others. We literally learn to do everything that we do by mirroring other people. Let that be the same thing. When you're
Abusive relationships, like oftentimes men that are abusive to women, one, try to isolate them first and make that woman dependent upon them.
Mhm.
One, so if she don't have no friends or family she can talk to, she becomes dependent upon him, and it really goes when you're isolated and you don't reach out.
Yeah.
You don't reach out. You gotta reach out and ask for help. You gotta say something. At the end of the day.
takes a village.
But that could be hard. So how do you
Questions.
how do you know? And so that's why, like me as a young gentleman, I like to have a standard and really show somebody, no matter what type of relationship it is. I'm a really good friend at the end of the day. That's why I don't like to get mixed up in this shit, because like sometimes like, I don't know, when you put titles on things in relationships, like a lot of people often limit themselves, and that could be hindering to your growth at the end of the day.
That's real.
But it's good to hold that standard high, and really show somebody what I feel like love. Because you only know what you know, and a lot of people, men or women, when they're abused growing up and that's all they know, they confuse that abuse with love, that abusiveness with love, and you gotta.
That's like a common one. A very common one is abuse, because it doesn't have to be physical.
No.
It's emotional. It's like mental. And there is physical, spiritual. Like there's so many different levels of abuse that you can get from someone, and you could like be getting abused and you wouldn't even know it.
When it's on that psychological level.
Yeah. Like you truly can be getting abused by certain people in your life, but
Why do you think it takes
it could
people
just
so
be
long to realize that
friends,
they're
it could
being
be
abused?
family members, it could be, and it doesn't even seem like it's like flat out just I'm abusing you, but if you really look into it, like damn, they were abusing you.
I think it takes a long time for people to realize that they're abused because they're abusing themselves by not.
Ooh.
You guys are making
Oh shit, that was deep.
By like. Actually,
Oh my god.
Because the abuse is happening to you. It's your reality.
Ooh.
So
Yeah,
it's
Mike,
when
go
you
ahead.
can separate yourself from the abuse, like you can start to realize.
So then,
that
how
you're
do you
being-
truly separate yourself from abuse?
I got you. So I did a segment earlier this week with my bro Del, and really you need time to yourself to reflect, and like because really we put ourselves it's our own thoughts really that get us stuck in a cycle, a negative cycle. But how do you break that cycle? You really gotta reach inside of yourself and really can limit you and escaping your present reality. If you don't like your reality, don't dwell on not liking your reality, because that's what you're gonna attract. on that level, like, because our minds are so powerful. We attract what we think about. And so if you're just only thinking about what you're going through and the suffering and not thinking about how to overcome it, and just, and that's what you're gonna attract. In order for us to create healthy thoughts, we have to stimulate our minds. And so are we doing any stimulating mind activity throughout the day? Outside of numbing ourselves from our present reality because we don't like our reality. Like social media or Netflix or drinking or just doing a negative activity to numb yourself from the shit you're in because you don't want to face it. And that's going to be degrading to your mind. Your neural pathways, your neural pathways are going to weaken. Like me,
That's
for
so
example,
crazy that you speak on like all that shit, because earlier this week I was watching this show and I think I was so drawn to the show so much because like it felt like it really sucked me in. It felt like I was escaping my actual world and going into the show, and like it was so weird how like it captured me. It was Cobra Kai. Like,
but
it was literally, and like it's like a you know, a karate show. It's like I don't do karate, but like it was just how I was trying to escape and how it actually worked because I allowed myself to truly escape.
I've been trying to stop watching so much TV.
And it's not bad. It's not bad to get an escape. We gotta get an escape. We gotta get away. But make it a healthy getaway.
Yeah.
Don't make it a negative getaway.
Yeah.
Like when I smoke weed, I don't let it control me. I control it. Like I try to. Like I want to do. If I'm smoking, I want to go for a run or do some yoga or do a meditation or something.
Yeah, I like to smoke before I go to the gym.
Or have a stimulating conversation, like, you know, not just, go retard. Because I've been there. And right now I just gotta keep going. But you gotta balance yourself out and have that time to relax and have me time so you can reflect. You can be like, wow, I'm doing this all wrong, or you just notice more of like when you're falling off. Because you can set goals or set standards or have expectations. I try to have no expectations. I have standards, but I got standards. I'm picky.
But no expectations.
No expectations. So I'm not gonna walk into a situation having expectations because then I'm just gonna ruin it for myself. Like, what?
But what are your standards based off of?
What you allow yourself to deal with, kind of, in the moment, like what you want to perceive.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Go ahead, take over.
Cause like,
take the mic.
I don't try to assess anything. I present myself to ways stuff is presented to me. I'm kind of an introverted person. I don't really like talking to people that much. I'm just people be like, I don't know. It's like I'd rather be quiet.
Yeah.
But it's like, I think because like you said, you guys watch TV. I don't watch TV. I get caught up in my thoughts, and so it's like I can think and let time just float by, and like it won't be nothing to me. But I'm just caught up in the whole day thinking. And it's like, what?
So Mike got his own TV show in his head. That's what's up.
Low key, but it's like, how do I interpret? But it's like it's like, how do you be still within the moment with how you start to interact with things?
Because your mind is like a CPU, it's a processor. You can speed your
Cause
mind
it's like,
up and slow time down.
Yeah, because it's like I don't drift. It's always a
like
constant thought.
Damn.
Consistency.
The mind is
Consistency,
the
exactly.
most
A
powerful.
consistent mindset, a consistent flow, like a river, like a powerful force. You got to put your mind in a growth state, in a flow state, an alpha state of mind, and you meditate by doing that. You get in tune, you ground yourself, you breathe in deep air, and you just tap in, and you just continue to flow. Because really, when you meditate and you breathe, the left and right hemispheres of your brain are just so in sync, and you can just retain more information and just draw connections more quickly. And like you could be like Sherlock Holmes and like if you're fighting somebody, you can literally like plan everything out in your head before it happens and just do it. No hesitation. You just go. It's a type of fearlessness of just living life. And that's why you gotta do something that scares you every day. And like not like in a scary way, but like, you know, you gotta get comfortable with being uncomfortable, and that's growth. But like you know, what you can handle. Like that's why it's good to just get out and interact. But how do you be safe about doing that, really? Like you gotta be cautious about everything you do. You gotta be strategic, but you gotta be wise too. It's a balance. You gotta have logic and you gotta have emotion.
I think about like
Take calculated risks.
Yeah, it's gotta be calculated, but you gotta know your reality, know your environment.
The point is, you also have to understand that you need to take these risks now, but you have the energy to.
Ooh,
You
yeah, there you go.
We have.
Ooh,
You
that
have
was
to,
deep.
you have to think about it.
Execute.
You have to think about it. We are still in the situation where
Like when you,
people want to work their corporate job and then retire when they're 40 and then go ahead and start doing all that shit,
yeah.
traveling and stuff, but you have no energy to.
No
You're
energy.
burnt out from working where you're like.
Oh, that makes sense. So it's been engraved in us to basically just waste our energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or just like hold off
That's
until
deep.
you're like 60
Like
and try
it's
to use all of
been
it.
engraved in us for us to just waste our energy.
Well,
so
no.
that
I would
we
say
can-
it'd be like we've been taught to suppress our energy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, chill it out. You don't need to worry about it for right now. You got other things to worry. Like,
But we're wasting it. We're not just suppressing
I
it.
guess you could say by the fact that we're not using it, we are wasting it.
Yeah.
I see that. Yeah.
And there's so much that people can do, but they don't know they have the capabilities to do.
That's why we have to do
because
things right.
Their energy is being put into the wrong source.
Mm-hmm.
I've been,
Go
I've
ahead.
been thinking about this. It's like in today's world, I feel like we're supposed to always be in a constant state of ease. Where we're supposed to be comfortable. We're taught to be comfortable with where we are, but
Yeah.
always dream
we're
about what.
content
Yeah,
with our
but it's
lives.
like if you go back to like the beginning of time, life is not supposed to be easy.
Yeah.
Okay, even when there was no sense of religion or morality or anything, it's like we're hunting, we're killing, we're eating. Like life is meant to be hard. It's a struggle, but it's like now we have the opportunity to like work to where our lives are really generally easy.
Yep.
Like our lives are fucked up in all the ways that they are because we're individuals.
Yep.
But like our life is easy compared to what we had to deal with before. But I think we're like moving further away from who we are because like if you think like famous people are who they are, but we pay them or we listen to them, we endorse them for being a persona.
You just
Yeah.
idolize
Like,
them. I don't want to
we-
be idolized.
Like it's like, but okay, like actors for instance, actors are famous for playing people they're not. So like, with you hear all the crazy shit that happens to them and what they do in life, do they start to forget who they are because they play these different people
It's
and they can
because
embody
that
these
we
characters?
like that reality that brings to us. It's an escape, like how I was talking about, you know, when I was watching that show. It really, like, I don't even do, like I said, I don't do karate or anything, but it just allowed me to escape there because it's like, well, shit, if I did do karate, this is a dope ass show, you know what I mean? So it's like, that's the same with how it is kind of with life, you know? It's just, we are, fucking, I just got a brain fart. I just lost everything that I was about to say.
I really know.
Bro, what?
I did that yesterday.
I just lost it just left my head.
It's like it takes off like a fetus.
Yeah, what?
You're like that. It'll come right back soon.
I
Like,
know.
eventually, you'll just be talking. You'll be like, oh, hold on, wait a minute. I gotta go back to what I just.
That always
Rewind.
happens. That always happens.
Like you think pretty deep on this topic, bro. Sounds like you spend a lot of time on
I think a
personal
lot.
time.
Like so
Who paid me?
hold on, let me finish this joke.
You're
But,
actually pretty good. You know what? We went into it
So it's like I always have this constant conversation.
a bad thought.
with anything.
Like I was like, oh,
Because
those
it's
are
like-
not gonna be good. But when I said that those are,
I'm
gonna be
also
good, they
interacting
were
with the
good.
world while I am
That's
interacting with the
crazy.
world.
Just
So like,
bad apple.
I need to think
I'm
about
sorry,
that.
Mike. So you're talking about something real serious over here, and I'm hearing like a review
My
on a
bad.
chip.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So
No.
I'm like, no, you're cool. I'm just like, it's crazy. I'm like serious, and then like a review on a chip. I didn't expect it to be that good.
Hey, don't put your foot, nigga. That will get on fire. That's a...
I feel like he's done this before.
Oh, he definitely has.
Fire charges.
I would think he has almost put his foot in there one time.
My feet are roasted.
But it's like, how do you... I think about how I interact with the world because I don't interact with the world. But it's like, how do I interact with the world? How do I present myself to the world? And within that moment, how do I, instead of making my life easy, how do I make the world easy around me?
There you go, because Mike, you are your own world at the end of the day. Everybody's your own
Yeah.
world. We all have our gravitation.
From pull.
We can pull things in and we can push things out. You know,
Wow.
with our thoughts, with our energy, the more in tune you are with your entire being on all levels, then you can do amazing things. You can manifest your reality like that.
I think we have to also understand that every individual is capable of that, and so the people that we surround ourselves with are also pulling our energy and pushing our energy back out.
And so is
Right.
their
And that's
energies
the form
aligned
of
with your
reciprocation.
energies? Or is that energy draining you? Like
That's why you just have to understand you are
So
the
essentially,
average of the
everybody's an
people that
energy
you are around.
vampire.
Oh yeah, there's the energy vampire.
Yes.
But everybody is an
Okay,
energy
but see,
vampire.
everyone's a killer.
No, but see, it's
Yeah.
how,
Everybody has to be one.
but it's how you perceive. I feel like that's how we are meant to
Right
perceive
now, my
energy now.
energy's
Why can't we
feeling
just? Why
drained.
can't everybody
Oh,
just
no,
be
that's
like,
a
I'm
lie.
assessing
I
you
drain
at what you're
energy,
doing
too.
in this moment, and you're
Right
assessing me
now,
at what I'm doing in this moment,
Yeah,
and there's no
because
bipartisan.
we are both attracting each other's energy.
But then again, you can charge each other up too. That's the thing about having, so like, really, all energies can think about it as a negative and positive charge. Like they're masculine and feminine energy. They are meant to charge each other. It's a polarity. It's like there's just, this topic is such a huge topic. Like in so many, it can go in so many different ways. But essentially,
I compare it to like, what is a bad vibe?
there you go, Mike.
How do I know there's negative energy? All the time. You can walk into a room. I mean, we call them nigga senses. It's like, oh, he's goofy. He's acting different. His
Yeah.
energy's off. Or it's like,
But-
oh,
It's
like this
because
isn't
the
my
energy
scene, or I
get
can
off
feel
based
people
off
like
of
looking at me.
perceptions that you have in your head.
Exactly.
And that's why you got to get clarification. Like, yo, what's
But see, happy
Yeah.
birthday.
Because you could.
It's
my
12?
goodness.
Oh, is it 12 o'clock?
It's 12:11.
Oh.
Oh,
shit. Happy birthday.
Happy 19th.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.